You mostly know Tim McGraw for this.
Always stay humble and kind.
But on 1883, we've seen him doing lots of this. And this. Tim plays James Dutton, the great-great-grandfather of John Dutton, as played by Kevin Costner on Yellowstone. He's married to Margaret Dutton, played by his real-life wife, Faith Hill, which means they occasionally do this. I'm Billy Dukes, and honestly, I'm surprised they haven't done a little bit more of that through season 1. It's not like the show isn't afraid to go there, but that's another conversation. Tim did recently share with us what it's like acting alongside his real-life wife, and what Faith Hill is like on set. Remember, before 1883, Faith had very little acting experience, so you'd think she'd be nervous at best, right? Maybe. If you're watching the show, what do you think of the job Tim and Faith are doing? I'm gonna give Tim a solid 7 on a 1 to 10 scale, and Faith gets an 8. If either of them did start singing, they'd get an extra point, but so far, there has been very little on-screen melody making. In fact, Elsa Dutton singing Beautiful Dreamer,
Beautiful dreamer, why unto me?
and playing a piano version of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata is the extent of it. So why? Why won't Tim do what Tim does best? Recently, Taste of Country had a chance to ask him just that. Listen closely to his answer, because he kind of spills some news.
That's something that's not even on our radar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we stepped into this show, and this show is really about an epic score, not so much songs or anything like that. So when we stepped into the show, I've written songs. It's inspired me to write songs. I've written songs that have, you know, a theme that sometimes revolve around some of the things that happen on the show. But it's not that kind of show. It's not a show that's going to have anything to do with us singing.
Right, just because the characters, you can't very well just burst into some big production number, obviously.
We're not going to turn it into a Broadway play. But and my character James, I can't imagine him ever singing a note. He's not an artistic guy.
All right, let's unpack that a second, because Tim shared something that's very interesting. First, the answer to the question why he won't sing is pretty simple. James is a little too pragmatic, and that fits with what we've seen so far. James Dutton is deeply troubled, pessimistic, untrusting of pretty much anyone, and most of the time angry. That makes some really good heavy metal music, but that genre was still about 90 years away from being invented. I want to focus on this part of his answer.
I've written songs. It's inspired me to write songs. I've written songs that have, you know, a theme that sometimes revolve around some of the things that happen on the show. But it's not that kind of show.
Tim McGraw is songwriting now? I mean, this is news, because over the last 20 years, only 4 songs he helped write made an album, and 2 were bonus songs on his last album here on Earth. Of that batch, this is the only one that had any radio success.
I'm up here with God and we're both watching over you.
But he also scored 2 small hits with 2 songs he helped write for movie soundtracks. I know, I'm on a bit of a tangent, but the idea of 1883 inspiring new music is really exciting, because Tim's the kind of storyteller who could bring a Western sound back to country music. Plus, if any of this rubbed off on his wife, we wouldn't be mad about it, because anyone born the last time that Faith Hill dropped an album would be a senior in high school in 2022. Yeah, it's been a moment. I used to think that she'd use 1883 as a way to launch new music. Thumbs up this video if you love that idea. But now, I'm not so sure, because it's clear she's all in on this role, and she's had no time.
It's also great to just see her as an actor just dive into this role and create this character that is the backbone and the steel of this family, and which she is in real life in our family. But to see her translate that into her character for this show is pretty amazing.
McGraw and Hill have both said they wouldn't practice their lines offset because they wanted to truly separate Tim and Faith from James and Margaret. Remember, they spent 6 months away from home working on this show together, but Tim says he wouldn't have had it any other way.
It's great working with your wife and spending time every day and being on set together. The best part about having your wife there is you get to go home every night together. Had this not been this kind of show, we work together, I would be away from home all the time. I mean, this has been, 4 months? It'll be 5 months when it's all over. 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I would have never seen her, and I'd have never gotten home. And she might be happy about that, but I wouldn't have been.
I dropped a link in the description section and the upper right-hand corner if you want to see what Faith had to say about 1883, including the terrifying moment she had on horseback that almost scared her away forever. I also shared links to the Dutton Rules podcast, where we deep dive into some of this stuff. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.